what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. I'm back at one of my favorite undisclosed locations because we have something pretty impressive here. This is the all-new 2021 Toyota RAV4, but this isn't any ordinary RAV4. This is the new RAV4 Prime. But before we dive into this hybrid crossover SUV, let's talk a little bit about what the RAV4 means to Toyota. This is the best-selling compact crossover SUV, and the past 3 years has been outselling the competition hands down. Now, what's exciting is right on the footsteps of the hybrid RAV4, we now have this plug-in electric hybrid. So what we're talking about is the ability to accelerate faster than any other RAV4 before it and get maximum MPGs, MPGEs, and range that is unbelievable. Now, what's gonna blow your mind is that this is the fastest four-door Toyota currently in their lineup. 0 to 60, I'm gonna let the cat out of the bag now. 5.7 seconds, 0 to 60. That places it right behind the almighty Toyota Supra as the second fastest accelerating Toyota. One thing is for certain, this RAV4 Prime is really gonna have the competition scratching their head on how they could up their game to not only have, of course, that reliability, the flexibility, and the versatility on the interior of this RAV4 Prime. But let's go ahead, dive in, and see why this should be the 2021 SUV of the year. Right off the bat, familiar styling. It's the same styling. We're in the 5th generation of the RAV4, looking good. 4th generation wasn't my favorite. It actually was one of my least favorite. This generation, I love the look of it. Now, when we're talking headlight housing, still same design, and just like on other trims, you're gonna get LED headlights on your Prime. Now, Prime is offered in 2 separate trims, SE, which is the one that we have, or you could go a little bit higher with XSE. Both of them have LED headlights. Love the styling of the headlight housing. There's a little bit of dark chrome in there, which is very nice. Of course, you're gonna have an LED daytime running lamp. The one zonk is you don't have an LED turn signal. I think that would just kind of finish the whole package up, especially with all the technology that this particular Prime has. As we work our way down, here's that very aggressive, muscular styling. You do get a very large gloss black vent. I am gonna zonk it because it's not functional. It would be nice if it was a side air curtain. But the great news is that if you go XSE, that actually takes the place of a LED fog lamp. So you get LED fog lamps on that XSE trim, which will really illuminate the road in front of you. Now, as we come across the front of this RAV4 Prime, same familiar styling. I do like the design of the grille. This diamond studded grille design, all gloss black. You work your way down, just like on the regular hybrid RAV4, you're gonna have gloss black trim, this horizontal slot area, and then I do like the addition of this dark silver that runs along that lower lip spoiler. Has a really great look, and think about it. This has to help cheat the air, but yet it looks like a RAV4. That's what I have liked about the direction that, you know, hybrids and especially this plug-in hybrid is going. Now, as we go up onto the hood, same design, nice large U shape with that center indentation, gives it a nice overall feel. When you're looking at the competition, I think that this just has a little bit more of a presence to it. The others seem a little bit rounded. This has a nice, strong look to it. Now, when we come around the bend, you do have this gloss black on the fender treatment. I wish that this was color matched. I think if this part was color matched, it would just kind of blend in a little bit better, but check out what we're working with on our wheel and tire package. So this is unique to the Prime SE trim. That's an 18-inch wheel. I love the machined aluminum and this nice dark metallic gray. It's an 18-inch diameter, 7 inches wide. So what you're looking at is you're looking at a 225 on the width and a nice meaty 60s series sidewall. Great amount of space between the top of the tire and inside that fender. Now, as we go down the fender, love the unique body lines that they have. Really gives it a lot of character. We're gonna get our plug-in hybrid badge, tasteful badge with the blue, just like the Toyota badge up front has the blue because this is a hybrid. This is your plug-in hybrid. I do like the placement of that. Nice color match mirror caps, a little bit of silver, turn signals built in. As we go down the side, you're gonna have these nice flush roof rails that are up here. You can get your crossbars, put your kayak, put your mountain bike, put a cargo basket up there. This thing is so versatile, you could do any of that. Nice gloss black, very, very low, so they're not gonna really whistle in the wind. Chrome trim just at the top, nothing on the bottom. I like that. It's super, super clean. You have gloss black on that lower sill. My only zonk on the side is I'm not really a big fan where they put the all-wheel drive. All of these are gonna be all-wheel drive, but I don't know why they decided to put the badge down there. Now, as we continue working our way towards the back, you do have that floating roof design. So this piece of gloss black kind of blends in nice into the aerodynamic bodywork that they have for the hatch area, blends in nicely, and you could actually option this with a different color roof. You could get a black roof if you don't want to go color matched. Really great on the body lines. When we get to the rear of the Prime, you'll notice the extension of the low roof spoiler really comes out nicely. Great angle to the rear glass. You have a color matched shark fin antenna. Your obviously your rear glass wiper. We're gonna have nice style, same style on our taillight housing. And then of course we got RAV4 Prime badge. Very, very tasteful looking badge. I actually like the way that looks. They went with the red, the black on the 4. There's that blue I was telling you about around the Toyota badging. And then, like I said, this is an SE trim. Now, as we go down, you'll notice gloss black across the bottom here and also on the lower portion of the bumper area. But this is gonna match with the gloss black going up front. And guess what? For a hybrid, normally you don't see this type of thing, but you do get dual exhaust. One exhaust on each side with a nice slash cut. I actually like the look of the exhaust, and I think it's in a tasteful position. If you're also wondering, well, Joe, what kind of ground clearance do we have? You're looking on the SE trim, 8 inches of ground clearance. If you go XSE, it's 8.2 inches of ground clearance. But why don't we go, let's pop the hood and see what's powering this RAV4 Prime. All right, guys, we got the hood pop. You do have a prop rod like the other RAV4s, but here is what we're talking about. First time ever electric plug-in hybrid technology. So let's talk about what the heck you're looking at there. That's a 2.5 liter inline 4, and it's been paired with 2 electric motors. You have an electric motor up front and an electric motor out back. Combined, 302 horsepower. That makes this the most powerful RAV4 ever assembled. It does have an 18.1 kilowatt per hour lithium ion battery. Power is going to be routed through an eCVT transmission with sequential shift mode, and you do have out back that electric on-demand all-wheel drive. There's no actual drive shaft connecting the front end of the business to the tail end of the business. Electric driving range. So if you're just going to go in full EV mode, you're looking at 42 miles. MPGEs 94, and then regular MPGs 40 in the city, 36 on the highway. Like I mentioned earlier, 0 to 60 in 5.7 seconds. The RAV4 Prime SE weighs in around 4,233 pounds, can tow up to 2,500 pounds, and has a 600-mile range. Now, what's wonderful is when we're talking about this kind of technology, Toyota wants to help you out. They want to help you feel comfortable. I know one of the big sore spots is always like, how long is the battery going to last? When you look at the battery, the lithium ion battery, you're getting a 10-year, 150,000 mile warranty on the battery alone. So Toyota wants you to feel comfortable going this route, and they also want you to be able to experience that extra, not only performance, but of course range. 600-mile range, quite phenomenal. Let's go ahead, let's get to the interior and see what the RAV4 Prime is bringing to the table. All right, guys, we're inside the all-new 2021 RAV4 Prime. I know you're at that point where you're like, Joe, I've been thinking about getting a RAV4. I was this close to buying a hybrid. I'm very curious now about the Prime. What is the price on this one? Now, this particular one that we have is an SE trim, and it has the all-weather package that includes a sunroof. You're looking at MSRP right around $38,000. Now, if you want to go for the fully option one or the top trim one, XSE is around $42,000. Let's see what you get for the 38 to the door panel. Now, same exact styling, just on any other RAV4. You have nice soft touch material. You have soft touch material on the armrest there. Flat black, and then you can see the bottles that you could fit in that small door pocket. It's on the smaller side, but I could easily get a maybe a taco in there with those two bottles. And I do like the texture on the speaker cover on the RAV4. Just a unique design that they kind of carry throughout the interior. Just something a little different, makes it kind of stand out. Now when you go to the dash, I'm digging the flat silver that we have here, this metallic silver, nice soft touch material. The red stitching really elevates the whole feel. You have this nice slot here for your Heath bars, for Three Musketeers, and if you were able to touch it right now, it has the same texture as the speaker cover. Infotainment system. On the SE, you get an 8-inch screen. If you go XSE, you get a 9-inch screen. But the 8-inch screen, it's that iPad style. It's got some gloss black around it, which doesn't produce a lot of glare, but you're looking at Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and Alexa. Of course, you have the ability to have your 3 separate screens up. Is it touchscreen? Of course it's touchscreen. There we could show you how we were doing MPGs in our RAV4 Prime. Let me go ahead and throw it in reverse. There's our backup camera. You do not have trajectories, so that's a little bit of a bummer, but it's a pretty nice size image for you to be able to successfully back out of wherever you're located. Now, as you continue down, you do have dual climate control, which is nice. The rubber grip on these knobs, you're never going to slip. You could have a bunch of mud on your hands and you won't slip on these knobs. So they're very, very grippy, real easy to use. You are going to have heated seats, no ventilated seats on the SE trim. You can shut traction control off. You get a nice little cubby here for at least, I'd say 8 to 10 Twinkies, a 12 volt and a USB, nicely placed. You got your power on button over here. It's not a start stop, it's a power on button. This is going to control that eCVT with manual shift. You have your different modes you could go in, sport, eco, and normal, and a trail mode. So that really shows the flexibility of this Prime setup. I like the nice flat silver, 2 cup holders, and then look, we got an updated key fob. So here is the back, it says RAV4 on it. You flip it around, nice touch. I like the way they made it a little bit larger. You got this dark silver, the hybrid Toyota badging, and you can remotely turn on the AC. That's a nice touch, especially on a hot day like today. Armrest. It's a rubber style material, but it's nice and soft. You open it up and guess what? You could easily put, I'd say, 4 hot dogs from 7-Eleven in there. You got 2 USBs. So 2 USBs plus that one is 3 USBs up front. Let me close that door, make it nice, close that. Seats. On the SE, they're cloth, but I do like the red stitching, this nice grippy material in the center. Manual seat controls for the passenger, but for the driver, you do have an 8-way adjustable power seat, which is really great. Headroom, 6 feet tall, just like any other RAV4, plenty of headroom. And this one, like I said, has that extra optional sunroof. But why don't you come over to the business end? I want to show you behind the wheel of the RAV4 Prime. All right, guys, business time. Behind the wheel, here's your electric seat controls, easy to get to in your RAV4 Prime. It's got the lower lumbar, that feels really good on my lower back. Steering wheel, great size, great thickness. I like the red stitching. It reminds me of a baseball. Very nice stitch work. This plastic panel, would have been a nice place to put a Prime badge here. So that's gonna be a zonk. It'd be nice to have something a little extra or hollow it out. I do like the flat black on all the controls, no fingerprints or anything. You do get all the Toyota sensing technology, which is gonna keep you safe. And then the dash, really straightforward and it makes sense. So you have that nice 7-inch display there in the center, and look at our gauges. So on the left, you have an analog gauge for power, eco, charge, and off. Then you have the digital display in the center, which you can go through a plethora of information, a cornucopia. Look at this, tons of info. Makes it really awesome. Lots of flexibility there. And then on the right, you got your fuel gauge and then your charging gauge. This does have regenerative braking, so that's a very nice feature. As you're braking, you're gonna be recharging the batteries. But overall, like I said, just like any other RAV4, it's a great space up front. Let's check out the back seat and see, are your passengers gonna be lacking any space because of the lithium-ion battery? All right, guys, back seat time. And this is really one of the greatest assets of the RAV4 is the amount of room that we have in the back. This seat is really far back. I have not moved it at all. And you can still see I got plenty of room. And I promise you, this seat needs to go forward because we actually had it in the furthest back position. 2 AC vents and 2 USBs. So they got you covered. Connectivity. And they got you some rear AC back here. And you can see with the lithium-ion battery underneath the seat, there's not a lot of space that you're missing. It actually takes up very little room, and it's actually going to help us in our handling because it's going to lower the center of gravity. Just like many other hybrids and other plug-in hybrids, having that battery pack system actually lowers the center of gravity, which helps handling. Now, you don't have a pocket for the passenger behind the driver, but I have a nice large pocket. And just to prove a point, I'm going to move this seat up, and you can see that there's tons of room. I've literally put the seats in same alignment as each other, and I have tons of space back here. And you have a nice high armrest with 2 cup holders. So I guess the only bad news is that if you have a sandwich or something, you only got this pocket back here. You might as well just hold on to it between your legs. Just don't squeeze or you're going to get cold cut combo all over the place. But why don't we go ahead, let's check out the cargo area and see how much room we have in this RAV4 Prime. All right, guys, cargo area time. Before we pop this hatch, though, I want to show you real quick. On the driver's side is still the fuel door, just like other RAV4s. But what our RAV4 has that yours doesn't is the charge part doors. So you're going to plug right in at the back, and it's easy to use just like any other plug-in electric vehicle or electric hybrid in our sense. But we close the door, and then what's nice is even on the SE trim, you're gonna have a nice power lifting rear tailgate. Look at how low the load floor is. Easy to get things in and out. I'm gonna move the cord out of the way, but you can see how much room. Now, if you're asking me, well, Joe, how much room do we have? That's a very good question, and I'm gonna give you some hard numbers. So you're looking at 33.5 cubic feet of space with the seats up. Fold those seats down, you're looking at 63.2 cubic feet of space. I like the way that you have a 12 volt. You got these little cubby areas for an emergency box of Twinkies. Here's our 12 volt. And then the best news is you do have obviously the ability to plug in, and on top of that, you do get a spare as well. So they're not gonna leave you on the side of the road with a hope and a prayer and a can of flat fix. You actually get a spare. But why don't we go ahead, let's get to the best part. They say this is the most powerful RAV4, over 300 horsepower. Let's see what it drives like. If you're ready, I'm ready. Let's take the Prime for a spin. All right, guys, we're in the 2021 RAV4 Prime Hybrid. Really just nice to be able to bring this to you first on Rady's Rides. We are in full EV mode, so crazy to see the technology, having that electric motor up front, the electric motor out back, very, very smooth, very quiet in here. And I really like what the RAV4 Prime is bringing to the table in this EV mode. Remember, you're looking at over 40 miles of range just on EV alone, which is quite substantial, especially for a compact SUV like the RAV4. Going down the road, very, very smooth, very composed. Toyota did some great work with sound deadening. SE trim, cloth seats, they feel really, really comfortable. That really is going to allow you to enjoy that 600-mile range in this RAV4, because you're going to feel nice and relaxed when you get to your destination instead of your whole body hurting you from an uncomfortable seat. Visibility, just like any other RAV4, is really, really great. Nice handling, nice feel through the steering. You got all those different drive modes. Now, to put it into sport mode, so I'm going to go from EV to sport, and now we're going to see that whole hybrid combination. So on throttle, really, really smooth. That transition from going off throttle to on throttle. Let's see what this right-hander, what it feels like. On the brakes, you got that regen braking. Look at this, nice. Handles really well. Remember, this is the fastest four-door Toyota, second fastest Toyota, right behind the Supra. That is super impressive. But let's go ahead. I want to do an acceleration from a dead stop. So we're gonna slow down here. I can feel that regen braking going on. We are gonna go from a dead stop on throttle. Wow. It really puts you back in the seat. It really does. Remember, 0 to 60 in about 5.7 seconds. Let's see how she handles. On the brakes, that regen braking, slowing us down. Really nice, super smooth, back on throttle. I can't believe I'm in a RAV4 driving like this. And we don't have any high performance tires or anything like that, but it's really showcasing the capability of this powertrain. Brakes feel really, really phenomenal. The regen slows you down just enough. It doesn't feel like it's over braking, which is nice. On some models, you know, when you get on the brakes, it feels like you're stomping on them, even though you're just tapping the brakes because of the regenerative braking kicking in. On this RAV4 Prime, it really is seamless. But great feedback to the wheel. Decent sound coming from the front end. Obviously, it's got an eCVT, so you know, you are going to have that higher RPM under full throttle. But other than that, really, really great experience. Lots of fun to drive and surprising in a RAV4. Really, really is. All right, guys, back in EV mode again, on throttle. You can feel how the acceleration is really, really smooth. I just can't get over how quiet it is. Now, getting to the infotainment system, really, really easy. That nice 8-inch system. If you go XSE trim, you get a 9-inch, the largest infotainment system screen in a Toyota RAV4. So it's nice to either get the 9-inch or the 8-inch is a great size as well. Visibility in the mirrors is really wonderful. All the other things that you love about the RAV4 are in this Prime, but you're getting all that extra, you know, range or performance, whatever way you're looking at it. But on throttle, here we go. You hear that nice smooth. We're still in EV. I'm gonna switch us out of EV and we're gonna go into hybrid on throttle. Here we go. On the brakes. Quite composed in the handling department here. Look at this. Who would have thought that you could carve some corners in a Toyota RAV4 and actually put a smile on your face? Very, very nicely done. The way that they engineered this vehicle. And then, you know, a lot of it has to do with, think about it. We've talked about this time and time again, especially on SUVs. When you turn them into a hybrid, when you create a hybrid version of it, or in this case, a electric plug-in hybrid version of it, it actually lowers the center of gravity. So you're lowering the center of gravity, you're increasing that handling, which is nice to see in this vehicle. All right, guys, we're gonna do one more set of twisty bends here. I'm gonna put it in manual shift mode. So I took the shifter, pushed it over to the left, acceleration from a dead stop. If you're ready, I'm ready. On throttle, here we go. Yeah. Wow, you can feel the difference in acceleration on the brakes. Really, really brakes nicely. That's one of my favorite things about this Prime. Now here is a big test, this left-right transition. I'm gonna be quiet, here we go. Not bad. So, as you can see, you now have this ability in one vehicle to have some performance, to have the versatility of all this space, and to be able to go very far distance without needing to refuel. That, to me, seems like a win-win-win-win situation. And in the compact car, or I should say compact crossover SUV segment, I don't think there's anybody that could touch this RAV4 Prime. What is the competition bringing to the table? Nothing at this level. But we're gonna go ahead. Hopefully this gave you a nice overall feel of what the RAV4 Prime is all about. We're gonna get back to our undisclosed location and wrap this one up. So I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys, that was one heck of an eye-opener. This RAV4 Prime, they're not kidding that it is the fastest four-door production Toyota vehicle currently available for sale. I definitely got to thank Corey and Zach over at Toyota USA for allowing Rady's Rides access to be one of the first to bring this to you. It really showcases where we're going in the direction of technology with electric plug-in hybrids. And to be honest with you, think that this is the best way to go. Instead of going full EV or just going regular, good old fossil fuel, having the combination with the hybrid and that plug-in technology, it just goes to show this is a crossover compact SUV. It was fun to drive, versatile, and got maximum mileage out of it. So you got a little bit of everything. Imagine putting this in other types of vehicles. I'm really excited, and I think that Toyota definitely has a hit on their hands. But if it's cars like these, if there's SUVs like these, trucks like these that you want to see that are electric plug-in hybrid vehicles, leave a comment in the comment section. If you're new and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Rady's Rides family. If you want to help us keep making great content just for you, click the link in the description. Get yourself some Rady's Rides merch. Got to give it up to Victor. He's standing there like a statue. He's actually been practicing for days. There was one day he actually stood still with a camera in his hands. So thank you, Victor, for putting in the hard work. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.